Cracker. Alright, g'day everyone. Welcome to another day in paradise. I'm your host, Joshua. I'm joined tonight by my beautiful wife, Tori.
Hello.
And tonight we're going to have a bit of a yarn about a topic that's been a mystery to me up until now. He's a big bloke, he wears a red suit, and secretly delivers present to every single house on earth, but only once a year, and always on the same day each year.
Go figure.
If you haven't figured out who we're talking about yet, then you've probably been living under a rock for your whole life. But yes, the topic tonight is going to be Santa Claus. Tori and I have just had our first child, our little daughter Elara, and we're trying to decide whether she's going to grow up believing in Santa or not. We're definitely not here to say what people should or shouldn't do. Everyone has the right to make their own decisions. We want to make that very clear. We're just here to share a little bit about our different upbringings, get some feedback from other people who might be in our situation, how they've handled it, because it seems to be a bit of a touchy topic. We're going to keep it lighthearted. Everyone's of course welcome to share their ideas or opinions at the end of the video or in the middle of the video. It doesn't really matter when you do it, it's up to you. But if it sounds like something you want to be a part of, go ahead and grab a drink, get comfortable, and let's get it started.
Cheers.
Cheers, bloody oath. So I guess I'll kick things off. I seem to be the odd one out in most situations. I grew up without Santa, and when I tell people that,
They're shocked.
it gets some mixed reactions. Some people are absolutely baffled by it, and other people think it's almost blasphemy. Which to me is weird because I guess it was the normal thing for me while I was growing up. But while I was growing up, I was raised in a Christian family, and I guess the idea behind that was we were always taught that Christmas was about obviously the birth of Christ. So most of the people I knew growing up, especially in the church, didn't have Santa in their life. It was never really about it, but there were still some people who I went to church with
So I guess it was
had
normal.
Santa.
It was normal for you not to have Santa.
Yeah, very much so. I never thought of it as a weird thing. I certainly never felt like I was missing out on anything, which I guess some people assume might be the case. They might feel like I'm missing out, but it's never once occurred to me that it's a bad thing to not have had Santa. I guess one of the downsides to not having Santa is at school I was definitely always that annoying kid that would tell all of the other kids that Santa's not real.
I could just imagine that.
Yeah, so that's probably something. If we aren't going to teach Elara about Santa, then I'll probably tell her not to go and do that at school.
Yeah.
Because I'm
Probably a
sure
good
there was a
idea.
few upset parents after their kids went to school with me.
Even now, like I'm so worried of saying something about Santa not being real, and kids are around and then finding out. Like,
Yeah, it's a hard topic, I guess, because you don't know what other people believe.
that's it. Because there's some religions that don't even have Santa at all, isn't there?
Yeah, that's it. There's a lot of religions and cultures across the world. I guess Santa's more of a Western thing.
Yeah.
And personally, like in my adult life, I've always approached it with the idea that I am not going to have Santa for my children. Since meeting Tori, I guess I've opened my eyes a little bit to the other side of it. I've just never considered that there is another side to it. I've always assumed everyone thinks like me, but I guess that's far from the truth.
Well, yeah, because I grew up with Santa, and Santa was the most amazing thing. Like waking up on Christmas morning and Santa has brought all of these presents, but like just the weeks coming up to Christmas, like getting ready for Christmas and the Christmas music and shopping and walking to the malls with all the Christmas decorations, like it's just so exciting for me, and I wanted to share that with my family.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty fair point too. There's a lot of hype around it in the media and lots of
There is.
Christmas movies. I genuinely think people get excited when they're expecting Santa to come. The idea of a big fat bloke sneaking into your house late at night is a little bit strange, but I guess if he's leaving some cool stuff for you as you're a kid, you probably don't really care how you get it as long as you get the cool stuff.
That's it. And I remember asking Mum, like, because they say Santa comes down the chimney, but I was like, how does Santa get in the house? Like, we don't have a chimney. And I can't quite remember what her response was, but something through the door or the window or something like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely see the appeal of it, but I guess not growing up with it, I still don't completely understand the whole idea behind it. But I guess children think very differently to adults. So I'm approaching it with my adult brain at the moment, which makes it a little bit harder. But kids believe anything.
Can you imagine, like, we live in Townsville, right? And I guess everywhere, but with all the break-ins, no one leaves any, like...
Yeah, there's not going to be any back doors unlocked on Christmas Eve, that's for sure.
How's Santa gonna get in, like, if everyone's house is locked?
But I guess that's the magic, isn't it? Santa's magic.
Oh, he'll find a way in.
Yeah, especially, like, I've seen different versions of Santa. Like, I guess the Australian Santa doesn't always get milk and cookies, because obviously it's the dad or an uncle or someone coming in and doing it. So they want to have what they want. So you leave like a beer and something out for them.
I do remember doing that on Christmas Eve, and it was so exciting.
Santa would love beer.
We would put milk, cookies, and carrots for the reindeers. And we used to go to this pet barn or something, and you could get reindeer food.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like chicken food, but it had glitter all through it.
I remember making reindeer food in school. It was basically just rolled oats and glitter.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I remember bringing it home in a brown paper bag. My parents were just looking so confused at me, like, what are you going to do with this?
We sprinkle it all on the front lawn.
Yeah, they
on Christmas Eve.
I guess this is where I get it from. People think I'm a Grinch, but I don't really want to sprinkle glitter all over the grass.
Well, now with me in my trying to be more eco-friendly, definitely not, because glitter doesn't.
Yeah, glitter's not that good for the environment. Microplastics. But anyway, we're getting a little bit off topic. We're not going to get into preaching about
I'm sorry.
environmental issues at the moment.
But it was exciting. Back on track.
Yeah. So I guess one other point I wanted to bring up, I guess my parents' reasoning for not giving us or not teaching us about Santa when we were growing up, I remember very specifically them telling us that, one, they didn't want to lie to us. They felt like if they were telling us Santa was real, that they were being dishonest with us, and I guess I can appreciate that. I remember Mum telling me about her story, because she grew up with Santa, and when I think she actually caught my grandma putting presents under the tree, and she was absolutely like heartbroken that Santa wasn't real. Like, this magic amazing man doesn't actually exist, and everything you've been believing up until now is just a big farce. And like, I guess I'm pretty glad I never had to go through it personally.
Well, when I found out Santa wasn't real, I the same. Like, I was heartbroken.
I remember
I was in primary school, I think. Don't judge me here, but I think I was in about grade 6.
Crikey.
So I was a little bit older than other kids, maybe. But I was in the school toilets, and I just heard some girls over talking saying that Santa wasn't real because it was coming up to Christmas time. And I was so sad.
Yeah, that's a heartbreaking story.
It was like the fact that I overheard it. Like,
yeah.
It was devastating.
Yeah, I guess another thing too is, like, I always knew that my parents were the ones giving me the presents. It probably means more to me now as an adult. It's hard to remember back to how I used to think as a kid, but if I knew my parents were the ones getting me the presents, I knew that if I broke them, that I had to face my parents and explain how I broke them and why I wasn't looking after them.
Yeah. In which I kind of get that too, like, when I was in my hairdressing days, a few clients would always tell me that their kids got iPads and tablets and Xboxes, whatever, for Christmas, but they were off Santa, and some of the kids had broken them, like smashed the screens, and the kids were like, well, why do you care? Like, Santa brought it for me, you didn't.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, and I heard that quite a lot in hairdressing.
There's the disciplinary side of it too. I hear so many people, like, the naughty or nice, like, if you're not good, Santa's not going to bring you any presents.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure that ploy works for 2, maybe 3 days before Christmas, tops.
Yeah.
But
during the
Yeah, it doesn't
year.
matter what they do throughout the year. Like the kids are still going to get presents.
That's it.
It's empty threats, really, and I think kids flew onto that pretty quick.
And also growing up, we would go back to school and everyone would talk about what they got for Christmas and what Santa brought them, and Santa would always bring them like bigger things, like more expensive things. And growing up with a single parent, and there was 5 of us,
Yeah.
we didn't always get the bigger things, and we're like, well, I was good, like I wasn't on the naughty list, why didn't we get that kind of things? Like, where's our Tamagotchis?
Yeah.
Or oh, they were the
Tamagotchis.
days.
Oh, crikey.
But like that really hurt because we were good, so why didn't we get that?
Yeah, that's an interesting point to bring up. That sounds heartbreaking to me. I don't even know how to respond to that. I remember reading a post similar to that the other day, actually. There was a social worker who posted something very similar about how she had a parent coming crying to her because her child was asking why they only got a small present for Christmas and all the other kids were getting all these big presents. And
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's pretty devastating. That's especially because kids are going to go to school. They're going to interact. They're going to
That's it.
obviously the first question out of their mouth when they get to school
Yeah.
is going to be, "What did you get for Christmas?"
Yeah, for sure. But I think a lot of families now are the bigger things are coming from the parents, which is good because I think that's the way it should be. And Santa brings the little things, but there is still some families out there that the bigger things do come from Santa.
I think that's a nice compromise, though. Like now that I'm a little bit older and more mature, I'm not completely against the idea of Elara growing up thinking Santa's real. And I guess my workaround for that is all of the significant presents are going to come from me and Tori, and anything small we get her is going to come from, well, could come from Santa.
Yeah. I got threatened one year and I was told that if I don't behave, I'm going to get coal, or I think it was ashtrays.
Coal.
Actually.
That's such an
Yeah.
Australian thing to get for a present at the
Right?
moment, isn't
But
it?
I never got it, so I must have been good that year.
Yeah.
More
And
towards the end of Christmas.
yeah. Like I'm looking forward to seeing Alara's face at Christmas. I know how excited Tori gets about
Oh, I
Christmas.
love Christmas.
She's a bit of a Christmas fanatic.
Yeah, my Christmas tree's already up.
I'm a bit of a Grinch most of the time, but I'm opening up to the
You're-
idea of it a
you're
bit more
warming
now.
up, yeah.
I'm certainly not jumping for joy, but now that I have other people to make happy, I guess that's what I'm enjoying about Christmas, is that it's not about the commercialism or the presents or anything. I just like seeing
It's
other people's
Yeah.
excitement and other people's happiness when you give them something meaningful.
Yeah, that's it. And I love receiving presents. I really do.
I don't doubt that.
But I also love giving presents, especially handmade gifts or something I've really thought about. And I'm really excited for Elara to receive some presents.
Yeah, and it's
Just her
it's a
look on the face.
great excuse to get the family together.
Yeah.
Like I've been pretty slack on it the last few years, but I guess my family's more than just blood. It's all my mates and everything like that as well.
Yeah. It's hard when your family's split as
Yeah,
well.
pretty spread out.
Yeah, my family's the same.
Yeah.
And especially living in North Queensland, like family down south don't want to visit at Christmas time.
Understandably so. It is.
It's bloody
It's
hot.
bloody hot up here at Christmas, and if you're not used to it, then understandably so. It's not
Yeah.
exactly the nicest experience to be half cut and sweaty and.
Yeah.
But I'm from here. I love it.
But then again,
That's
an
Christmas
Australian
to me.
Christmas. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's an Australian Christmas.
That's what I grew up with. That's what I'm used to. Actually, I grew up. My mum's side of the family is from Finland, so we actually used to celebrate Christmas on Christmas Eve.
That's right.
So I was even more of a little shit to all the other kids at school because I got my presents Christmas Eve night after dinner.
Why do they do that?
I'm not too sure. I think it's just a tradition.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
we've had the last 2 Christmases together, and the last 2 Christmases we have had some celebrations on Christmas Eve.
Yeah, it was great. Like on that side of the family, it would always be Christmas Eve, and then I'd open some presents that night, and then I'd wake up on Christmas morning and have it with the other side of the family, and I basically got 2 Christmases every year.
I kind of like that. Like I'm excited to start new family traditions this year.
Yeah,
I'm not too sure what I want to do yet, but I think I'm gonna make some pajamas for all of us. And
Crikey.
yeah,
I'm sure you'll all get to see those once they're made.
now I actually got to do them.
Yeah, you heard it here. Let's hold her to it.
Oh, gee.
All right, how long have we've been talking for a while now? We'll probably wrap it up.
Hopefully we didn't rant too much.
Yeah. So we heard both sides of the story of Saint Nick. Like I said at the start of the video, we're definitely not here to give advice or tell people that one way is better than another. We're pretty much just here to share our opinion. Maybe you have some stories that are similar. Maybe we've missed out a few key points. If you have Santa or don't have Santa in your house, feel free to let us know in the comments.
I would like to actually know the...
It'd be interesting to see, like a bit of a poll. Maybe we can get a poll going to see who has Santa and who doesn't. But if you like what we're doing and you want to see or listen to more videos like this, feel free to drop a like. There's going to be a lot more content coming out over the next couple of weeks while we're building the channel up. So big thanks to everyone for sticking around. We love having you here.
Maybe, or even comment some topics you would like us to do.
Yeah, that's a great idea as well. We're not going to get into anything too controversial, but certainly the opinion pieces aren't bad, especially when we've got very different upbringings and opinions.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, thanks for hanging around, guys. This is Joshua and Tori, and today is another day in paradise.